2015 marks the 10th anniversary of a very special car, Ford GT.
Built to commemorate Ford's 100th anniversary, a prototype of the new generation Ford GT was commissioned to be unveiled at the 2002 North American International Auto Show.
So we got the guys from the Skunk Works over. I had Coletti, I had Freddie Goodnow. They had already developed a chassis with Multimatic. I said, I want that chassis in that body, which was entirely different shape, and we got to be there for the auto show first week in January. And the car came out. It was the yellow GT40 concept. People loved it. That got the ball really rolling. Then to seal the deal, we took Nick Shayla, we took him down, he was the president. We took him down the elevator, the private elevator, to the basement where we parked the cars, and Jay Mays had the concept car painted up in the Gulf colors. Now, Nick Shayla was a Brit. He started to cry when he saw the car, and that's when we knew we had the deal done.
Selling the deal turned out to be the easy part. Getting it into production was the real challenge.
Usually, you do a car that's made from something else. This was made from nothing. It was a brand new car. You know, we had to put together a team. We get to go in the company and all the key engineering areas and pick the best and brightest in the company. And that was going to ruffle some feathers. And it did. And everybody we had on the team they were multi-degreed. They were racers, they were restorers, they were motorcycle champions. They had gas in their veins.
Not only was the deadline met, but the 2005 Ford GT was greeted with rave reviews.
There was something different about this car. Even seasoned collectors wanted this car because it represented something from their childhood. Many of them grew up with the GT40 in the middle of Ford's total performance era, and the thought of being able to own the new version of that GT40 in the form of a street car was just absolutely irresistible.
The tradition of this car, the Halo car, being built, you know, for the centennial, which I was able to attend, was just a magical moment. You know, they had red, white, and blue at World Headquarters that, you know, I just looked at these cars and I says, I gotta have one of these.
To celebrate, Ford GT, an American icon, has reunited this talented team to tell the inside story of what it took to accomplish this amazing task. The Ford GT team created a refreshing new supercar that paid tribute to the rich stylings of the race car that beat Ferrari on its home turf.
When we look at the Mark I, you could obviously see the inspiration that led into the 2005, 2006 Ford GT.
In the early 60s, one of the problems that the engineers had with Lola and Ford Advanced Vehicles was lift in the front end, because they were really fast cars. And you could see the difference where that one's got spoilers in the front and a splitter in the back. You could run this car 280 miles an hour and it's going to be dead stable. This thing at 180 is going to get very light in the front end because there's no spoilers and a lack of aerodynamics.
Ford GT, an American icon, will bring you the great history of the legendary GT40s of the 1960s.
Wow, it's surprisingly very agile, even though it's very small.
It's just a very light car, and I've told people before, it drives like a go-kart on steroids.
Yes.
And some of the secrets these remarkable automobiles have survived to tell.
Stopping to 25 miles an hour to make the Mulsanne corner and then going, the rotors were really under duress and braking. So Shelby blanked off the front inlets and he put the inlets behind the radiator so it would get slightly warm air and the brakes would always stay warm.
And today, the racers of a new generation are writing new chapters of racetrack successes that are keeping the legend alive.
The highlight, I would say, would be Le Mans in 2011. Our first time over there, the little mom and pop team against the factory guys. Took a third place podium, and it's just astonishing what we were able to do.
Now, of course, some of the teams saw this and thought it looked cool and tried to copy it, but they got it backwards. They attached it the wrong way. They're disturbing the airflow in front. They copied the aesthetic, didn't understand what it was doing.
The shape of the car certainly resembles the Ford GT. However, if you put a stock GT next to it, you're going to notice this car is much more sinister. It's much wider, lower, It's a race car. I mean, it truly is. The only thing in this thing that's essentially stock is truly the tail lights and, of course, the chassis itself.
So join us on our ride where we celebrate the greatest American-built production sports car in history, the Ford GT, an American icon.